又到了我们读英文的时间了，今天读37篇。The death penalty 比较严肃一点，这个标题就是死刑的惩罚。不管怎么说，我们还是做一个守法公民，好不好？先读文章，坚持。每天都要给自己定一个小小的目标，坚持做好今天能做的事情。OK。37 The death penalty. It is taken for granted that a person who is convicted of number should pay with his or her life. Murders and other brutal criminals are dangerous to other people. They should be punished for their misdeeds. Many people believe that they should be killed, and that the death penalty is the only way to protect society from such violent criminals. However, there exists a worldwide movement for the abolition of the death penalty. The abolitionists argued that the death penalty is not only inhuman but also unscientific. For rapists and murderers, they say, are really sick people who should be cured, not killed. The arguments advanced against the death penalty are as follows. First, those in favor of capital punishment are motivated only by desire for revenge and retaliation. Second, capital punishment does not deter. In Britain, capital crime has not increased since the abolition of capital punishment. 3. There are numerous miscarriages of justice, especially in capital cases. A miscarriage of justice is a wrong decision in a law court that someone is guilty of a crime that they have not committed. 4. A civilized state should uphold, not violate, the sanctity The fourth, a civilized state should uphold, not violate, the sanctity of human life. In China today, we still use the death penalty to protect ourselves from dangerous criminals. If you don't eliminate them from society, more people will fall victim to them. A life for a life is a principle we uphold in dealing with such violent criminals. When he was 23 years old, John Hudson robbed a bank, killed a policeman who tried to arrest him. He was later caught, convicted for murder, and sentenced to death by hanging. But before the sentence could be carried out, the death penalty was abolished by Parliament. John Hudson's sentence was commuted to life imprisonment. Last month, he escaped from prison and robbed another bank, killing a clerk and wounding a messenger. Now, police have not caught him yet. Now, 6 people are interviewed about their views on capital punishment. Mrs. Green, who is the wife of the wounded manager, argues strongly for capital punishment. She says that the only way to deal with dangerous criminals like John Hudson is to excuse them. Interviewer: Mrs. Green, what do you think about John Hudson's escape from prison? Mrs. Green: dreadful. This man is really dangerous. He's already killed 2 people. How many more will he kill if he's allowed to escape and go free? Like that, there is only one way to deal with dangerous criminals like him. That's to execute them. Execute. 什么呀？读的什么呀？这是。
是，那你赖谁呀？
Judge Shaw is the prison governor. He complains that there are not enough prison wardens to guard those dangerous criminals. He claims that the only way to guarantee public safety is to restore the death penalty. Interview: Mr. Shaw, can you tell us how easy is it to escape from a prison? Judge Shaw: well, you tell me. Well, you see, there are in fact 500 maximum security prisoner here. Those dangerous criminals who should be kept in the prison, which is intended to be especially difficult to escape from. But here there are only 30 prison warders to guard them. It is ridiculous, isn't it? We really urgently need more staff and new security equipment, but the government continually ignores our request. It seems to me that in the present conditions, the only way to guarantee public security is to restore the death penalty.今天这篇文章读的不是很通顺，就感觉一个人怎么就跟状态有很大关系的这一天办什么事情？刚开始还挺兴致勃勃，现在又变成了这种没有任何方向。坚持多久？37天的有可能有坚持。所以说今天这篇文章呢，它已经超出了我这个词汇量的一个范围，所以在读的时候呢，有很多一些卡词儿的情况，或者说读的不通顺的情况。当然，也有很多自己复杂的情绪在里边，也就是不知道自己还能不能，就是坚持的意义在哪儿。说实话，读了这么长时间，好习惯重养成，这个好习惯能不能养成？不知道，你坚持最后的结果会达到什么样的也不知道。不过，坚持了这么久，那一点点的希望是什么？那一点点的希望是什么？是内心深处渴望成功的那种期待。你必须得唤醒你的内心深处， 懒得读了，太多单词不认识。
哪有懒得读？
我又回来啦。还是要坚持，因为你不坚持，别人肯定就会说，你看你坚持不了吧。如果你不坚持，别人就会说，你看你还是不行吧。如果你坚持不了的话，别人就肯定会说，
你没有尝鲜吧？
对，你坚持不下去吧。对，所以必须得坚持。继续。Thomas Anderson is a campaigner of the restoration of the death penalty. In other words, he is taking an active part in organized activities which are intended to restore the death penalty. He argues that capital punishment is the only way to deter criminals. Interviewer: Now let's turn on Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson is a campaigner for the restoration of the death penalty. Tom Anderson: Yes, well, my view is that these brutal killers show no mercy to their victims, and therefore they have no right to expect mercy themselves. Now the death penalty must be restored in order to protect the society from dangerous criminals. Capital punishment used to be a major deterrent. It made the violence robber think twice before pulling the trigger. It prevented an armed policeman from being mowed down while pursuing their duty by killers armed with automatic weapons. Above all, it protected the most vulnerable members of society, young children from brutal sex maniacs. It is horrifying to think that the criminal can literally get away with murder. I would propose, and I am quite sure that the majority of the British public would back me up with this. I would propose that the death penalty be restored immediately. Tom Barrow is an MP. He is strongly against the restoration of the death penalty. The main arguments he has advanced against capital punishment are: the first, capital punishment is immoral and uncivilized. It only satisfies society's lust for revenge. Second, there are numerous miscarriages of justice. Interviewer: Mr. Barrow, could you tell us why was the death penalty abolished? Tom Barrows: Well, it was quite clear that capital punishment was abolished for the simple reason that it was immoral and uncivilized, and it served no useful purpose except to satisfy society's primitive lust for revenge. Now it is fact that statistics show that violent crimes have not increased as a result of abolishing. It is also a fact that a number of people have been convicted of number and later found completely innocent. In my opinion, the restoration of capital punishment would just be a step backwards for society. Father Matthews agrees with Tom Barrows. He says that one killing can never justify another, and that only God can decide if he or she deserves to death. Interviewer: Father Matthews, what is your view on the death penalty? Father Matthews: No man, however competent However competent should be given the authority to decide if another man deserves to die. You see, only God can decide that. In my opinion, the death penalty is both sickening and immoral. One killing can never justify another. Jeremy Wilson is a judge. He argues that the death penalty should be restored to punish and discourage violent crimes, but he says that it should only be used for criminals that are dangerous and incorrigible. Interviewer: May I ask you opinion, Mr. Wilson? Jeremy Wilson: Speaking from many years' experience on the bench, it's becoming increasingly clear to me that we do need the death penalty to punish and discourage certain special crimes, those of particularly heinous nature. I am referring to such crimes as terrorism, hijacking, kidnapping, and the killing of policemen and prison officers. But having said that, I think it should be used for criminals that are dangerous and incorrigible and unlikely to be reformed in prison, and the place should have irrefutable evidence. 怎么越到后边越难呢？但是不管怎么样，我就不信，我到底想看看，我究竟就是想看看我到底能坚持多久。加油！